How I replaced myself in my business. Episode 159 of the Marketing for Owners podcast with me, John Butt, outdoors in the garden in Deal in Kent in England, which is where I mainly live. Lovely place. It's a lovely sunny day, although 10 minutes ago it was cloudy and looked like it was going to rain. Good old England. So, lots and lots of people ask me, John, you don't actually appear to do any work. So how can you tell us how to make money and so on when you don't seem to do any work? Well, I do some work, and I do quite well on the old financial side. But the reason I can do well and the reason I can do these podcasts and do what I want and do them from different places in the world or around the country is because I replaced myself in my business. Now, this was an absolute effort, and it all came from reading the E-Myth book. The E-Myth Revisited, talked about it on the podcast before, I think gave it a whole episode. When I read through that, it was already good, but then I came across a section that explained the organisational chart, and it demonstrated it with a drawing. And what they said is, or what Michael Gerber said, the author, is that you should think ahead for your strategic objective of where you want to be in X. So, for instance, where you want to be in the year 2020, and what your business looks like then, how many staff, the turnover, and work out sort of all of the positions that you would have to have fulfilled to achieve that goal. And at the time I looked at it and I worked out, I had finance, production, marketing, and then people underneath packing, bookkeeper, etc., and wrote down all these positions and mapped out an organisational chart. Now, at the time, what it said is, for now, you are fulfilling all of the roles that you don't have a dedicated employee for, or a team member. And so I was all of those on that chart. And my job was to gradually replace myself. So, for instance, if I did a bit of the packaging at the start, I made sure I then hired someone to do packaging and moved myself out of that one. And every single job I had, I gradually replaced myself. Now, I might add that it's over a long period of time. You can't just hire them all tomorrow unless you've got someone else's money, venture capital investment in you, perhaps, or you're in a very fast growth company. But in a normal company, don't forget to just sell fire safety equipment online, then I just gradually replaced myself. And this meant right up to management. Of course, so if we had a couple of people in the warehouse, I was their supervisor. So then I've got a supervisor. In the office, customer service, I would lead the customer services people until I promoted one to become the supervisor and moved myself out of the office so that they were left to be independent. Then I was the manager, and I gradually replaced myself as the manager. And now my job is pretty much, somebody actually described me as the visionary, like Dan Sullivan, they said, and which is very nice because Dan's strategic coach. He does about 100 million a year or something ridiculous like that. But that was quite a compliment. But my job is to guide the business and to empower the people that work there to be able to reach my goals on my behalf. I make them their goals as well, but they are the ones that are left to do it. I don't interfere much, I just guide. So when I find a new idea, a new shiny idea, I will talk to them about it and explain why it's a good idea, and then let them run with it and see how they get on. If they don't like it, we don't do it. If I think it's particularly good, we might try it again. But just the other day, I was talking to Sue. Sue, by the way, started as a customer services assistant, and she now runs the whole company. How cool is that? and she's never run any business or anything in her life, and she is brilliant. So I introduced her to Slack. A lot of people use Slack, and so I looked into it and I thought, a lot of people use it, can't see why, but they were the same before they used it. Now they can't do without it. It's free. So I explained that to Sue, and I said I'd like her to give it a go. That's it. I can't say use it, because I'm not that kind of person. And this has worked for me by allowing people, by empowering people, when you give them the position, explaining what their role is and then letting them do it. We also don't have annual appraisals. We talk to our employees once a week, once every couple of weeks, every 3 weeks, once a month. One-on-one meetings last about 15 minutes. They have a little agenda. They are not, they're formal, but they are not ones where we reprimand people. We talk. It gets rid of all problems. Just the other day, I think Sue was saying that there was a potential clash between a couple of personalities with someone new. It's not necessary at all. So Sue or their supervisor, because we have supervisors, will talk to both of those individually right now and explain what we're worried about to make sure it doesn't become a problem. I don't have to get involved. We don't have any disciplinary problems. We don't have staff issues. We have a company culture. And it's all because I replace myself with people who are suitable for the task. Think about it. It worked, and now in my marketing business, in Marketing for Owners, I don't do much of the work. I'm very busy because we're building a business here. However, I have a team in place, and they are the ones I spend all my time helping them get better at their job, but without instructing them and telling them where they're going wrong or anything. All I can do, what they're doing is good enough for now, and if they want to make it better, then I can help with some suggestions, and then they run with it, they make it better. It works like that. It works like a charm. I can explain. If you come in, join us in the marketingforowners.com, the Owners Club. It's completely free. Just go to marketingforowners.com/join and you'll find a little bit about it. It's no risk. You just subscribe. Simple as that. But you get access to a lot of things that no one else can see hidden in sight when you're logged in. Lots of the things, lots of the reports are available to you, no one else. It's all free. There's no catch, there's no con, no credit cards, no nothing. Try it. Anyway, today, Thursday, time for a Drive Time podcast. And this one is kind of like mine. It's 10 minutes. It's the $100 MBA from Omar Zenholm. He does it with his partner Nicole, the actual business, but Omar is the guy on camera or on the podcast. Now, he is a fun guy. His is 7 days a week. He has Q&As. They've been going a lot longer. They have quite a community. And the $100 MBA is just that, $100, one-off for a course to train you in pretty much everything you need to know about business. Go check it out. I think it's at 100mba.net. But check them out on iTunes. It was one of the best iTunes shows of 2014. Can't be bad, eh?